Oh, there's that.
Yep, 5 o'clock. We'll reach
Okay,
out.
we're
She's
working.
got it.
She's trying to get the recording going. All right.
I'd like to call the meeting to order of the November 19th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Directors of the Columbia Gorge ESD. Welcome all. Shall we please rise for the flag salute? Diane, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. Introductions. Dana, do you have any introductions you'd like to make?
Stan, do you want to introduce Joel to everyone?
So this is Joel Reese. He's our regional tech specialist too for Columbia Gorge ESD. And that didn't come out right. He's been with us since 2018 and he is a phenomenal person to have on our team. And he's going to give a presentation.
Welcome, Joel.
Yeah, and then Sherry, you want to introduce Nicole?
We have actually Nicole and Angela from my team here tonight. I'm very happy to introduce you to Nicole Tomey and Angela Bodwell from Four Rivers Early Learning Hub. And they will not be presenting, but they will be here to share me content.
Okay, great. Welcome.
And then Courtney's coming to us. She's on. She's coming to us from Texas. She is at the National Migrant Education Conference, and she and Elda are there representing our district, learning about what's currently happening at the national level and recruiting. And yeah, anything else, Courtney, that
I don't think so. Just happy to be here in Texas and getting to know from our colleagues around the nation.
Glad you could tune in. And then Stacy, you are in
BC, Penticton, BC.
And do we have an update?
We do.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh, my goodness.
Our little new grand girl, Isabella Jean, came into the world a week ago today with pneumonia. So the medical staff at the hospital in Kelowna was very quick to catch the problem, and she actually was on a ventilator for about 12 hours and then a CPAP. They had her immediately on antibiotics, and they got to bring her home with an absolute clean bill of health on Monday. And she's just doing great. They're all doing really, really well. And she's just a very smart, beautiful baby. So I'm really happy to be here.
Not a proud grandma at all.
Not at all. I've been here a month because they didn't know when she'd be born, and they had kind of a pregnancy complication and had to stay nearer the hospital in Kelowna. So I've been farm sitting. And so it's really fun these last few days to have people here with me and not just animals.
Glad things are okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Any other introductions, everyone? And any comments from anyone that's not on the agenda? Any items you'd like to comment about? Okay, let's start with Dana's report. She's got good news and bad news, right?
Yes. Tried to start with some of the good things, although none of it at this point is horrific. But I'll go through and just give a couple examples of some things. There have been lots of opportunities for collaboration and working together with our partners over the last month. Several of us traveled to Condon a couple of weeks ago to work with our partners at North Central ESD, which is nice because we support them in much of the work that we do, and it's great to be able to collaborate with them. Also with community college presidents and lately with superintendents, in particular around trying to support districts with the presence of ICE in our community lately. And I am thankful for the partnerships so that we can work on keeping everyone safe. Had the opportunity to go to this year's Oregon School Board Association conference with Director Zastro. Paul, I don't know if you want to comment on anything that you learned while you were there.
Not really. I have a written report.
The
for
food
next
was
month.
great.
I will say that I did go to a very interesting one in the afternoon on Saturday, which was basically dealing with preschool, the one that Pat Sublette was involved in. And I'm gonna give her a call because I have two little books for her.
Oh, from Young Kala.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, they definitely give her high credit for getting it started.
Great, and that one is still going.
Still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Fantastic.
did a pretty good presentation on what they're doing. Even though the grant money is gone, they have decided to continue it,
Very
which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the purpose of
It
it.
is, yeah, it is sustainable. Some things in the last 2 weeks that I would say have taken up a great deal of my time. Many of you know, over the last week, there's been an increased presence of ICE in our community. And a week ago, Monday was a pretty tough day here in the Dalles. And speaking to superintendents and then working with their communications departments, I think that we've done a nice job of being able to partner with them. In particular, we had staff that were reaching out to our staff that they wanted to know if we could support, if we could be present at school sites. And I asked to take a moment to make sure that we would be coordinating with our local districts. And in fact, North Wasco School District is very appreciative of the support. And we had many staff members that at the end of the day were out and in front of our neighboring schools, helping parents, kids, in some cases driving kids home because the parents had called and asked that our staff members escort students home. We've since coordinated on messages to parents and checked in on how do we support after school programs and what's the communication if we're on their school sites, but supporting with our staff. So I think that partnership is very strong, but it's causing a great deal of stress in this community. The Next Door has also been a very important partner. I met with Janet Amata a couple of weeks ago, and they're doing a tremendous amount of work with food insecurity and with work with families to make sure that they have kind of emergency packets prepared for their students in case there is an emergency. A week ago, Monday is also when we were informed about different state agencies' plans if in fact they are asked to make budget reductions. Much of that is very contingent upon the next two revenue forecasts. Revenue forecast came out today and it was not as bad as had been anticipated. And in fact, the hole that we have to dig ourselves out of is not as deep as had been previously talked about by our state economist. We still have some work to do. But the other thing that I think that is very important is that the advocacy work has helped. There was a point when there was some work that was going to be done with the chart of accounts, which would have impacted Vanessa and our organization. And all of the state advocacy groups, from Oregon School Board Association to COSA to Oregon of the group of ESDs to the group that Vanessa belongs to, OASBO, they all joined together and wrote a letter and asked that it be delayed and asked that some more information be taken into account and that there be more time for us to get that work done. And that effort helped, and they've delayed that for a year. And so I think as we take a look at any potential budget reductions, we need to remember that the advocacy really can work, but it's really important that we work with all of our state agencies and that we try and have our messages be as aligned as possible. Because if we end up trying to pit ourselves as an ESD against a school district, for example, no one wins in that situation. So I'm doing my best to make sure that I am in all of those spaces and listening to all of the conversations to be as informed as possible. I have met with 3 different groups of staff members here at the ESD that were mentioned in some of those budget reduction scenarios so that I can answer questions for them. None of those things will happen, if they happen at all, until the short session in February and March. And today's revenue forecast was better, which is hopeful. But the impacts of HR1, which the one big beautiful bill, are still hitting Oregon very hard. And our lost personal income tax revenues, along with decreased amounts of Medicaid and SNAP, will have a long-term impact on our budget that we'll have to deal with as a state. If anyone has questions, or if you're reading things or hearing things and you want to know what I'm hearing, please reach out. Let me know.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you. Next up is the financial report that's just coming around. I was looking for. Thank you, Vanessa.
Hot off the press.
I'm hoping to have detailed financials next meeting.
Thank you. So you're on.
Good evening, Chair Nelson, esteemed board members and colleagues. The school office continues to make steady progress as we work through the annual audit and support the day-to-day operations. Our primary focus this month has been completing audit tasks, count reconciliations, fixing some errors, providing everything to the auditors. They came to me, I believe it was April 13th, so that's just last week. We're still reviewing our internal controls, making improvements, still working with Nancy Hall from Oregon Association of School Business Officials. We continue to work on grants, Four Rivers, ECSD, Preschool Promise, and we just finalized some grant claims with special programs, which was nice. Team is also learning about organizing documentation related to E-rate and Medicaid. It's a learning curve for us since we lost our grant manager, who also did Medicaid and E-rates. But Beth has been settling into payroll, and Alyssa has been really great supporting grant management, APAR, and he's continuing to process AP and work with the homeschool program. And I've actually learned a little bit more about that too, and can log in. Overall, the team has been balancing a pretty heavy workload, and they continue to move forward. We have calendar year end prep coming, and continue to do our day-to-day operations. Really grateful for my team as we get through this transition and these financial complexities that we're dealing with right now. This is right now is our current funding as of October 31st. We have actually received some more revenue since this October 31st statement. But if you have any questions.
Okay. No question. Have you updated us on the report for Texas?
I was going to save that for maybe another time. We have a few presentations, but I had a really great time. I met a lot of great people. OASO had a huge presence there, and I made a lot of connections. Met a lot of vendors, of course. Everybody wants to sell you something, but it was a really great time. And I continue. OASO was just a great resource for us, I believe, and so I will share pictures next time.
Okay. We'll get you on the agenda.
All right.
Susan, can you make sure? All right, thank you. Okay, personnel report.
Yeah, good evening, board and everyone. Glad to be here. We have 5 posted positions right now, 3 for the health services team, 1 for the migrant ed department, and 1 for early learning. We had 2 temporary IA hires for the migrant ed after school program. Our processes that Mercedes and I are working on is legislative updates are coming out, so we're tracking those and make sure we implement those as the dates come around. We continue to collaborate with the association and Stingray consultants on the job rewrite program. That's going to really benefit us and lay the foundation when we go into collective bargaining and evaluations and reclassifications. So I'm happy to be a part of that. It's going well. Staff development, I've joined the planning committee for Oregon Association of ESDs and attended an OSPA regional meeting a couple weeks ago. That was really nice. Mercedes attended the Educational Interpreters and Translators Conference, as well as our Oregon Wellness Grantee, which we receive funds for to do all the fun stuff, like meals and calendars. Lastly, employee events. As you know, we kicked off the Winter Coats for Kids campaign. You see the posters and boxes everywhere. We delivered 2 overstuffed boxes of new gear to the next door, which they distributed to all their kids in need last week, which was really nice. And we also started, this was from employee driven, a food drive campaign to supplement the SNAP benefits, which is just kicking off, but that was all employee ideas and employee led. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Stan, I think I'm going to hand it to you, but you're going to hand it off to Joel, it sounds like.
Okay, I can have a slideshow. Okay, it's a little tight.
Can everybody online see the screen?
Oh, they can.
Okay.
I can.
Excellent. Okay, and then, sorry, I need all my notes too. Sorry, technical difficulty.
It makes us feel good when you say that, is all I gotta say.
Yeah, so I'm here to represent our technology department. We are currently a staff of 6. We've had some folks, some of our department get smaller over the past few months. So we have been working hard to stay on top of everything that we do, and I think we're doing an okay job. And I'll cover some of the things that we are, some of the things we're working on in our department. So innovation is an important part of our department, and what that means for us is that we are modernizing our infrastructure, trying to automate repetitive tasks, empower our team through trainings, and improve reliability and safety in our network and the services we provide and the hardware that we support. And so we're not just talking about flashy new tech, but smarter ways of working. We emphasize that each project demonstrates innovation in action, not just in theory. As far as automating, we have automated patches to the servers, server and network backups, and we'll talk a little bit more about those in depth later. Okay. One of the examples of extending connectivity is we've provided internet at some of the athletic fields here in town, including Thompson Track and Bob Williams Field. This enables real-time communication and event coverage. So in some cases they can have, if anybody's going to be live streaming the games, this will assist in that. And then of course, give that access to the community as well when they're attending those athletic events at those fields. Yeah, those areas before lacked strong connectivity, and the safety aspect of this is that we've been able to add security cameras at some of these areas as well, which require network access. Okay, empowering our staff, hands-on tech training for ourselves, our team. We have a new lab-based training for technicians that has been put together from
from different areas. We build real-world troubleshooting and deployment skills. So instead of testing things on our network, our servers, our environment that could affect everybody in the organization and beyond, we've created a separate lab to do our testing and trainings. Okay. And we do try to stress within our team that innovation starts with people, with us, with our clients, and not just the equipment itself. The more we know to support our organization and everyone that our organization supports, the better off we are. Automating smarter, network updates and patch management. So again, rather than spending dedicated time as our team to make these updates manually ourselves, we've set up scripts and we've set up management systems that increases the efficiency of patching these systems and running out updates. And this scripting also reduces not just the human downtime of us having to work on it, but it also reduces human error. We are also human, and especially when making configurations that do affect all of our widespread systems, making one mistake at the top could cascade down, and being able to automate some of those mundane, tedious tasks reduces some of those potential mistakes. And we do have a proactive security approach with automated patching. We have increased consistency with our patches as well. Like in the past, we would do it as we would find time, or we would try to schedule things, but not always able to keep to that schedule. But when things are just automated, we don't even have to think about it. It's just we set the configuration and it goes.
Can you define patch management? I think of sewing patches on jeans. So I'm not quite sure what that means in this day and age.
That's a good way to think of it, actually, because with the security and systems that we have in place, there are holes that appear, and that there's always, we hear about hacks. We hear about, data breaches all the time. And that's because there's always going to be people who are actively trying to exploit anybody who's on the internet, basically. And they can do that by finding holes in software systems, in networks, in, anything that's connected to the internet. And so when those vulnerabilities are found and exposed, then the companies that run these products, like our servers and our switches, they do create patches to patch those holes, fill them up, and then vulnerabilities that were there that were getting exploited, thus get patched. And makes it safer. So that's why we do are constantly pushing people to keep their computers updated to because when they're not fully patched, there could possibly be an unpatched bug or exploit that's available to people who are looking for those things. And so we try to stay as on top of that as possible. And I'm sure everybody here has a cell phone and has apps on their cell phone, and you probably notice that all the time. It's saying you got to update all your apps. Why do I got to do that? Same thing on your personal devices. Like people, organizations are trying to exploit everybody who's on the internet every day, and making sure that the devices that you use to connect to the internet and to communicate are updated. That's what keeps us safe. Okay,
Yeah.
great question. Any other questions? Cool. Modernizing safety systems, cellular uplink. So in all of the buildings, there's fire, security, elevator alarms that have historically been connected with analog lines. Analog lines are being phased out. Obviously, they are still around and still a thing, but we have been modernizing and pushing our sites and the schools that we service to update those analog lines, so we don't need to rely on those technicians who deal with the analog systems, and we have cellular systems that are wireless. I mean, they're still not user-friendly or intuitive for anybody walking up to them, but they are much more accessible than old analog patch panels that are a thing of the past now. Okay. And my note here is, innovation isn't only digital, it's also physical infrastructure as well. Because, the fire systems, security systems, all these things do need to be updated as well.
How many cameras do you have in buildings in North
In
Wasco?
North Wasco, I think
Yeah.
it's like 250 plus. That's not right? Something like that. It's around 250. And I think the high school has almost half of them. The high school has a ton. And of course, the issues that they're going to want to catch on camera at the high school are probably more pressing with more hidden corners than at an elementary school. Elementary schools, it's more just about these kids had a fight out on the playground. We want to see, who's telling the truth. But at the high school, there's often, and the middle school, there's often a lot of things that we need security cameras for. Yeah, we have about 250. Okay. And then going in a little more about the server and network lab that we have. This lab mirrors the production environment. Production environment being our ESD network, the way that it connects with North Wasco and the other school districts and the college here. Our lab environment mirrors the production environment. So it's basically a copy, but whatever we do in our lab environment is safe. We can mess things up, we can break things, which is a lot of fun. And then that helps us learn what we can do, what we can't do, and and gives us a timeline on certain things as well, because sometimes we think, oh, we'll just update this thing or we'll just set this configuration, no problem. But then it turns out, oh, actually, part of this configuration is letting the system work things out, and sometimes that takes X amount of time, and that's what we need to know before we actually try to implement those changes in our production environment. And so that helps us learn by doing. This does have a role in our cybersecurity preparedness as well. Being able to practice full recoveries in a controlled setting. So again, we've done lots of trainings with cybersecurity entities, talking about weaknesses, talking about strengths that we have, and then if something catastrophic does happen where our organization is compromised, we have full backups of all of our data, all of our network configurations, so that if things need to just be cut off and restarted from scratch, we don't have to start from scratch. We can start from the backup that we made, a day earlier that day. And again, this helps us be able to practice doing that, because we don't necessarily want to be restoring backups in our environment ever, really, unless something catastrophic happens. So that's where our lab comes in. And looking ahead, we are going to continue expanding automation as much as we can, where we can, and grow the capabilities of the testing lab. I've talked about it like it's completely, we have a complete mirror of everything. It's not quite the case, so we're going to continue adding components, same as our production environment, to be able to test and try to configure some of those things. And we'll have ongoing skill development. We often have times where our techs will share certain areas of their expertise with the rest of the team to make sure that we all at least have a base for some of the knowledge that we all have. Yeah, I think that wraps things up fairly well. Does anybody have any questions about what our department has been doing and what we're looking to be doing?
Anybody questions from
Do you think AI is going to affect you much?
Yeah. So again, AI. So the scary thing with AI, it doesn't just have to be scary, but that's
It is.
that's how we think of it
Yeah.
most of the time, because we are thinking about not how AI can help us and make our jobs and our lives easier, but we're thinking about how it can help those people that I was talking about, those organizations who are actively targeting all of us, and that makes their job easier. So that makes our job harder. So that's how personally I feel about AI. Like, and then also even the positive things of it. Like, I know we're using AI to take meeting notes, and it puts together like a nice summary of what's been talked about here, which is fine for a public meeting or a meeting that is supposed to be public. Everything that's being said in here is public knowledge. But if you're just willy-nilly using AI for really important tasks and using data that should not be out and about, I guess we just want people to know that AI is, you are handing over.
Yeah.
Whatever you hand over, that's gone. That's basically not even yours anymore. So whatever you feed it is its now.
That's what I said, scary as hell. I don't know.
Yeah, and I
Deal
think
with
so
it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but again, like, it's really nice when it's like, oh boy, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? Hey, AI
Yeah,
tool,
right,
tell me,
right.
give me some recipes, give me a shopping list. Okay, no problem, easy. But as soon as you start getting into feeding it very personal information and very information that you don't necessarily want out and about, it gets scary for sure. And then, the big ones, ChatGPT and Google's Gemini and Microsoft Copilot, like, those are run and made by big companies. So we want to think that they're safe and have, their users' interest in mind.
That they're not a mining operation.
Yeah, right. But we don't.
That's,
we don't
yeah.
know.
And we do have a different group that Stan, Julie, and a few other members are a part of, and we're starting to
Yep.
take a look. You'll see the second reading of our AI policy tonight. We're really starting to dive into what do we want to do as far as guidance for staff, guidance that we can share with our constituent districts. And so
Yeah.
we're trying
For
to
years, this
work
house
on
was a
that
living nightmare.
also.
A squatter.
Because it's an ever-changing landscape right now. And
Yeah.
we're trying to ensure that folks stay safe.
I was just thinking old people like me and they were talking about scams and all that, and I said, I got this thing going, I said, my husband says, you're not answering the phone at all. But I'm just saying that it must be really scary for people that are not on boards here or read the newspaper or whatever, and they have no information at all, and then getting phone calls from these people, that it would be really scary, I would think.
Anything else? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joel.
Appreciate it. Shifting from the high tech to the little ones. Shira, annual report for the Four Rivers Family Early Learning Hub.
Learning Hub, yes, here we are, and I have good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, esteemed colleagues. I appreciate the opportunity to present our 24-25 end of year report to you and with you. First, I would like to again introduce you to my team members that are here and the team members that are not here. Our team consists of Angela Bodwell here. She is the coordinator. Nicole Tolme, who is here as well. She is our admin assistant, and we do a job share collaboration with STEM Hub for Nicole's time. Not here are Erica Hernandez, who is our Principal Promise Eligibility Specialist / interpreter translator. So she ensures that all the documentation that we send out is interpreted and translated. Amanda Parrott is our newly hired infant and early childhood mental health consultant. She's not so new anymore. She's not here tonight as she is at a conference in Idaho tonight for the pyramid model. Also not here is Nicole Reel, who is our other admin assistant. So we have two Nicoles, and they're both admin assistants, and they're both amazing, and we couldn't be more fortunate. Nick is on maternity leave and will be returning to us in January, but on the slide, she's here in this way with Nick's permission. Instead of just grabbing a stock photo of a baby, that is actually Nick's baby. Hours after her birth. This was one of her newborn pictures. And so that is Addison. And we really enjoy having a personal touch to the work that we do. I'd like to take you through the document. And I just want to acknowledge that this document and the work that we do at Four Rivers Early Learning and Parenting Hub would not be possible without this team. This was a true team effort. Each of us took a little bit and brought it together and created a beautiful summary of what we're doing, of what we've done, and where we're headed. So you have the full report there, but I'm going to take you through some slides tonight. You can follow along with me. I'll share out some page numbers as well. The first slide is just how we decided to divide up our report. So our report is divided into 8 categories, which is collective impact, strengthening our foundation, investing in growth, informing our approach, outreach marketing, projects, partner impact stories, and then plans for the upcoming years. These are our goals. I know that you've heard of the Early Learning Hub. We've been a part of CGESD for many years, but I wanted to take you one step deeper into looking at our goals with us, and you could follow along if you'd like on page 4. But these goals were created from our governance council as well as our parent leadership council. So our first goal is our system partners stay connected to one another and to families, collaborating to prioritize the child. They recognize the value of early learning, and our partnerships extend into the businesses and medical sectors. Goal 2, early childhood education is accessible to all, with an equity lens ensuring that families who need those support receive it first. Goal 3, the local early learning and early childhood regional systems are strengthened by strong partnerships between early childhood and K-12 providers. Goal 4, families are supported and engaged by creating environments that encourage their input. with families actively informing services through collaboration. And goal 5, systems are supported by data and family input, ensuring that they have the necessary resources to effectively carry out their work. I'm on page 16 now, and this is just a few of our highlights of what we've invested our time and our funding resources in. I won't read all of these for you, but there's so many things that we're proud of here that I wanted to just take an opportunity to share with you. In the 70 early literacy kits that went out through our partners at the Next Door for the home visitors. We utilized our Birth to 5 early literacy funds, part of it, to distribute home visiting kits that families really enjoyed. We hosted 2 conferences last year, one Journey to the Stars alongside our partners at STEM Hub and Child Care Partners, and then with many community partners in the region, we hosted the first Children's Wellness Summit. We have also supported training for facilitators so that they have a wide breadth of different types of parenting education that they can share with the community. We serve the 5 counties, which are Gillum, Hood River, Sherman, Wasco, and Wheeler counties. And we recognize that we are 5 counties and one size does not fit all. So our mission is really aligned with providing options so that every family could participate in the way that suits their families best. I'm on page 20 now, if you're following along. One of the highlights that I wanted to bring tonight is under our informed approach. We expanded our Child Plus implementation, which is our data system, to support preschool promise. One of the things that our hub is responsible for is determining eligibility and assisting families in getting enrolled in preschool promise classrooms. So we work closely with the DELC grantees to ensure that they have information and that they're getting the information and getting families who choose their sites to be able to enroll as quickly as possible. And we have enhanced our outreach analytics. We've tried some new things. We tried Spotify, we tried movie ads, we've tried, I don't know if you saw, if you were at Safeway or Fred Meyer, we had a little kiosk where you get the sanitary wipes, and we had those, just advertising preschool promise as well as CGESD. Next page is our, if you're following along,
What did
page
you
20.
find your best outreach was?
We are
Which
still,
got your most response?
you know, it really is social media, I would say, and word of mouth. We have a parent leadership council that we really rely on to get the word out. And so it's families talking to families. Families are more likely to trust each other than they are something that has been produced by a government entity, including a school. And some families love to hear information from school and some families don't. But I would say we believe that the social media is the most effective right now.
The radio. The radio.
Yeah, Eric
Oh, you
on
heard the
the
radio ad?
radio.
Yeah, Eric was on the radio and English and Spanish. Yep.
Thank you.
And we are constantly refining that. Families' choices change. We are looking at younger families. When we think about families that have children 0 to 5, it is the younger generation. So I'm an old folk who's on Facebook. They are more likely to, actually not even Insta anymore. It's Snapchat. So there are new social medias that we have to learn so that we can advertise on them and really reach our audience, as well as families. We have grandparents that are raising grandchildren, and they will hear us on the radio. And so really spreading the net out
What
wide.
does that say about Vanessa?
In addition to our digital ads, we also do a lot of in-person ads, and this is what's the most important, I would say, and the most effective, is the relationship building, going out into the community and making connections with families at various events. And you'll see on our left-hand picture behind the mask is none other but our STEM director, Julie. And so this was at our trunk or treat event. In the middle, you will see the twins. They are often mistaken for each other, but there's Angela and Kristen on a collaboration, and there's Erica at one of the events that we host. And we, again, really try to get ourselves invited to spaces where we can meet with families, and families, you know, they recognize her name or they recognize Erica's voice or her ad, which is on YouTube. Please check it out. And so we, again, really focusing on that personal connection is what we feel is the most effective for us.
Definitely outreach.
And then I would like to just share a couple of impact stories with you to end our time together tonight. So from Kren, who is one of our partners and also one of our colleagues here tonight, collaboration is essential for a positive and smooth transition for students coming from preschool to kindergarten. This is from a parent regarding our early intervention parent cafes that we partner with Kristen and Elizabeth's team and providing those parent cafes. Joining the parent cafes has helped me realize that we are not alone. Many other families are facing similar challenges, such as autism spectrum disorders, ADHD, and other learning disabilities. Being part of these cafes has created a safe space for me to talk about our situation without fear of judgment or shame, because we have a child with special needs. Erin Bowman, CGESD employee, has been a wonderful host and has become someone my family can trust, making the parent cafes a supportive environment for many families like ours.
Wonderful.
And then lastly, through our partnership with STEM Hub, as described by one educator, I am so thankful for the opportunity for this class. I learned so much from you and others and will come back to this list of resources again and again. Other educators share their appreciation for the time to collaborate with one another and to cross-pollinate learning from pre-K to kindergarten.
Yeah. Says it all right there.
Sure does. So again, thank you for letting me come and present to you, and thank you for my team for joining me on the presentation and on this ride as we continue to support families as they're going through some difficult times these days, and we want to be there to be their trusted resource.
Well, this publication is beautiful too, whoever did that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That we did it. The state actually asked if we contracted it out, and very much compliments to the staff. No, we did not. We created this on our own.
Was this a requirement for funding?
It's not a requirement. We were inspired by what Julie does with the STEM Hub and the impact report, and I've shared it with Department of Early Learning and Care, and I hesitate to say this too loudly for fear that other hubs might throw apples at me, but I believe that it is going to become a requirement.
I'm surprised that it isn't.
Yeah.
Because it's very
Grant funding.
impactful.
Just always
Wonderful.
surprised when.
It is something that our governance council did request.
Okay.
The packet you gave and then the slides, did it match? Which one is the first? Is this,
Yes.
I mean,
This
some of the
the
pictures, I mean-
packet was created first, so that's what went
Okay.
out.
and then
To
you
our
made the
community.
slideshow second?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other comments or questions from the board?
This is absolutely excellent. Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Very well done. Consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the consent agenda, items 5A through F.
Okay, moved
Second.
by Paul and seconded by Diane. Any questions about any of the items? Anybody want to pull anything? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All opposed, say same sign. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on. Let's get to the ballot. Come on. What's your first? Where am I? We have, candidates for the OSBA Board of Directors, position 2. I'm getting to it right here. We looking at something here that threw me. First candidate is, if I'm get to the right place. There we go. We have Paul Zastro, some character from Hood River.
With so
And-
little experience.
Yeah, yeah. With a lot of experience, a lot of professional background. And then we have picture of Paul Zastro with a female. And
Yeah. I thought I've missed a few
Yeah.
meetings, but I didn't
Paul, your
realize.
hair's a little longer, but migrated from your chin.
Yeah, it surprised me when I saw.
It sounds like Susan wants to explain something to us.
Yes, well, actually, it is funny because I hadn't noticed it either until tonight. I pulled that off of the OSBA website.
Yeah.
And just saw the picture and didn't even look at the information. So we do have Nicole Scott, who is nominated from the Condon School District, and she is currently serving on the Rural Caucus Board.
Do we have a motion to?
So moved.
We have two people, Susie.
So moved for Paul Zastro.
Okay, so
There you go.
we have a motion to vote for Paul Zastro from the Columbia Gorge ESD. Do we have a second?
I second.
Stacy seconds it. Do we grill him? Or do
No.
we,
I think we should check all his references.
Yeah. I think he's just a shoe-in, yeah.
Okay, hearing no objections, shall we? All in favor of our casting our vote for Paul Zastro for the Columbia Gorge representative position 2, please signify. And I'm going to do a roll call on this just because I think it's so important. Paul, you can
Yes,
start.
I.
Stephanie.
Yes, I vote for
Stacy.
Paul.
Yeah. Yes, okay. We read your lips. Susie,
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Doug says yes, so we have a unanimous vote. Thank you very much. And then we have the Columbia Gorge Columbia Gorge. We have a candidate for the legislative position. We have Jose Aparicio, and I have to abstain from that for important reason. I believe he's the only candidate. isn't he?
He's the only candidate, and I would move that we support him.
I second it.
Any questions? He's my son-in-law, so I cannot, I don't feel I can vote for him, so.
Had a good talk with him at OSBA.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor of unanimously, less me, approving Jose for the legislative policy, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, moving on. Thank you very much. We'll get those in. I think we're well within the time frame, aren't we, Susan?
Yeah.
We have till next month? Okay. Designation of board member representatives to serve on the collective bargaining team representing the board and designation of lead negotiator on behalf of the board. Our team in the past has included Paul and Stephanie, and I've asked both of them if they would continue. And do we need to vote on this? Okay. And they both said they would be willing to do that. Anybody else want to serve in that capacity?
Oh, Susie would love to.
When I was first hired, that was part of my job, was also doing the minutes of the collective bargaining.
She loves
I did
doing
not
that.
know, I did not enjoy that.
So do we have a motion to approve Paul and Stephanie as the board member representatives?
I would move that we approve Stephanie and Paul as our designees.
Do you want to second it, Stephanie?
I want to second that.
Okay, any conversation, questions? All right, and this is just in anticipation of at least probably springtime collective bargaining starting.
Yeah.
So all in favor of Paul and Stephanie representing the board on behalf of the and our negotiations with the Education Association, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No objection.
Can
Approved. And we-
Paul be
Pardon?
Can Paul be designated as the lead?
Well,
negotiator?
I'm not sure. I thought Dana was going to take.
Traditionally, it has been designated to the superintendent or their
Okay.
designee, the HR
Okay.
director.
I think you're a wonderful person for that
So
job.
would you like to recommend that, Stephanie?
I would like to recommend that Dana serve as the lead negotiator on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay.
But we'll be there to.
That was fast.
The train left the station a little while ago. Anyway. Okay, any comments, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
We'll make a good team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be a good team. I'd like to suggest that maybe we have an executive session at our meeting next month to talk about collective bargaining, talk about parameters, kind of know where we are
Sounds good.
moving forward. So Susan and Dana, would you put that forward to exec session to address collective bargaining? And I assume that you'll bring us some good stuff to talk about.
Yes, I mean, we've done quite a bit of legwork already and well, Kip and-
1926601
Kip and
D.
Vanessa will be present also and we can talk about where we're at with several components.
Okay, all right. All right, moving on, information items. I've got the updated report from North Wasco District Tech Status Report, which is complementary to what we heard earlier to this evening. With that, any other information items, anything we need to be aware of? I would again reiterate, we need a seventh board member. And I'm looking kind of at directors who sometimes go into Doofer and South Wasco and
People that might live in Doofer.
Yeah.
I have really, really tried for like 4 or 5 years with just a 1-year break when we did have an elected person. And
Yeah.
there are a lot of really active, involved, school-oriented people down there, but they're just so focused in their own South County area in mopping that I've been able to generate any interest down there, but we can all keep trying because I think it's
Well, I
important
think
they have
just
representation.
keep casting
Keep
the
saying
net
it.
wide. We may find someone. So just bring that up.
Remain hopeful.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Hearing none, I will adjourn the meeting at 5:58. Wow.
All right, nice.
You done good, Doug.
Drive safe. See y'all next month.
Thank you all for coming.
See you
Nice,
next
Stacy.
month.
Thanks, Julie.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
I speak on that.
Tell Stacy I was wanting to take her.
I'll send an email to the two of you and we can set up our next meeting. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. And how are
The
you?
office when I came in
Good,
to sign
good.
a letter
And
for
you?
Paul.
Getting better, getting better. Yeah.
Black
Trying to
binder
get my
kind of thing that
cataracts
says
removed.
Wassa
They
on
keep,
it.
I have styes, so everything needs to go on in December,
It's my,
January. So
it's my
that's the only
ESP.
thing I've been dealing with. Yeah.